Howdy y'all, I hope you guys are all doing well, I hope you guys are safe, and I hope you guys are healthy. My name is Josh, and I make content centered around streetwear, clothing, fashion, men's fashion, things like that. So if you're interested in that type of content, feel free to follow me here on YouTube as well as Instagram, all of which wears_Galdo. But without further ado, actually, hold on. A little bit of a detour. I wanted to go ahead and recognize something. I was actually going over my analytics, which I don't do very often, but I saw that I actually made, so far, I have made just a little bit over 100 videos, and that's absolutely insane to me, just because at the start of me creating YouTube videos, I had no idea how to edit, how to do any of this. And so for anybody who's been following me for any length of time, thank you so very, very much. I really appreciate your guys' time watching any of my videos. And for those of you who've been subscribed, thank you. And for those of you who will subscribe in the future, thank you very, very much. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So today's video is going to be centered around a shoe that I didn't think that I would like at all. When I saw it come out, I was like, okay, they just made a cheaper version of a luxury collab. And I went in person to a Croc store and saw it in person, tried it on, super comfortable, almost all Crocs are. The price point was absolutely amazing, and surprisingly enough, they're really fun to style. This right here is the Crocs Crush boot. This boot is super interesting. There's not a lot going into it. It's not the craziest boot in the world. It's all kind of just one material. However, its versatility was really surprising to me. So let's get right into it. Crocs, known for making EVA sole or EVA foam shoes. This is no exception. This entire thing is made of EVA foam. This basically, compared to a regular Croc, let me actually show you guys and compare a regular Croc to this pair. So when we're looking at a regular Croc, this is kind of what you're looking at. This is the base model Croc. We have perforations around the front of the toe. We have perforations on the top of the shoe. A little strap, what we call the action strap, for securing your foot more in there. We have little pattern on the inside for added traction on the inside of the shoe, and the under pattern is just a basic tread pattern that's super shallow, nothing too grippy in comparison to this shoe right here. The biggest and most obvious thing is that it's obviously a boot, so there's going to be extra height, kind of giving it that high top shoe feel. Compared to the regular Crocs, you're gonna see a platform sole, and that platform sole is, adds I think about 1.5 to 2 inches to your height, which for me, being 5'9", that's always super helpful. But yeah, basically this is just a beefed up version of a regular Croc. This does have a certain degree of waterproofing to it because the perforations on the side here are filled in. They're not open. The perforations on top are just little divots as opposed to open holes, and the only holes in the shoe itself are going to be towards the top here, and that's going to be for what Crocs call gibbets, so the little charms that you add to the holes in Crocs. So one thing that's very notable about the shoe is that the rubber or EVA foam that they use for the sole as opposed to the upper, two different densities, two different feels. So the upper is actually rather soft, whereas the midsole and sole of the actual Croc is going to be a little bit firmer, which I absolutely love. It adds that little bit of durability to the shoe. Now, you're not going to be working in the shoe, I would hope not. This isn't a shoe made for hard work. This isn't a shoe made for any sort of intense activity. However, that slight increase in durability will really kind of help its longevity. Now, the Crocs Crush boot does come in a multitude of colors. There was green, yellow, pink, beige, a lot of which I really enjoyed. Black is the easy go-to because obviously I already wear a lot of black, so black would just go with it really simply. The elevated and platform sole gives it a great look. I think it looks best with kind of either flared pants or baggy pants, of which I'll show you guys in a little bit. The retail price for this shoe was great. This is $70, and with the added durability of the slightly firmer sole and the upper being like this, it is $70 plus tax, which for me, very, very doable. This I want to actually bring up is such a great alternative to the Balenciaga croc. Balenciaga is not having a great time right now. Don't really want to say anything other than don't do that, Balenciaga. But anyway, this shoe is very, very similar to the croc Balenciaga. Obviously the Balenciaga pair was like incredibly tall. It like went all the way up to basically your knee. This one is only like a couple of inches above a regular croc. But this shoe, if you wear your pants over your shoe, would look pretty much the same. The soles, they're not exactly the same, but they both have a platform sole, and the elevated height. Honestly, if you didn't want to spend, what is it, like $900 on the Balenciaga Crocs pair, this is perfectly fine as a substitute for that. Another small aspect of it that might be a little cool for people, customizing Crocs tend to be like a really big thing. There are really funny ones that you can find on like Etsy and stuff where people make their own customized gibbets, which is what Crocs calls their charms. They're really cool, really cheap usually, but these are what gibbets are. They're just like little things you just pop into the holes. As for the crush boot, you can still do that, which is a cool little detail to it. I don't think you can do that in the Balenciaga pair. I don't think so, but I haven't really looked into it that much. But for this pair, you can do it around the collar of the shaft of the boot. Over here, for the Naruto fans, I have Madara. I also have an upside down peace sign. On the other side, I have a little chicken sandwich and Shikamaru. But yeah, so you can customize them. They're comfortable. They give you height. They are actually pretty rainproof because there is no like ventilation on the forefoot. If you step in a puddle, you'll be chilling. I will say there is one downside to lacking ventilation and being pretty waterproof, is that they're not the most breathable shoes in the world. So this is probably better suited for colder climates or climates where it is not as humid or hot, just because if your foot's in there for a long time and it starts to like, you know, heat up or you're doing a lot of things, foot might get a little sweaty, which is kind of gross. As for sizing, I would just go with your regular Croc size. I go true to size. I'm a size 9 or EU 42, and I stuck with a size 9 men's, which is an 11 women's, E42, and whatever conversions that may be. But this is actually a really cool boot. If you are in need of a chunky shoe, kind of like a mid-top or a high-top boot, this is great. If there was anything that I would advise against, I would advise against wearing these with skinny jeans, just because the shaft of the boot is rather wide, and so skinny jeans might not be the best play for this one. But all in all, that is basically all I have to say about the Crocs Crush boot. What do you guys think about these? I know some people, I put it up on my Instagram story and it was literally 50-50 on people who liked it and disliked it. So what do you guys think? I think this is a really cool styling opportunity for people at a not expensive price point. And it is actually quite functional, so even if you do buy it and aren't in love with it for the style aspect of it, just be a really, really cool functional shoe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I appreciate your guys' time. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me for so long. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Follow me on all social media, which is at where's_Galdo, and I will see you guys in the next one.